Past couple of nights, we've shown you how Hill Air Force Base is making the transitions from F-16s to F-35s after nearly 40 years.
40 years. Some say it's bittersweet to see him go. As part of the series, Hill Air Force Base gave news specialist Sean Moody an up-close look at what it's like to get inside the Viper.
We can throw numbers and facts and figures at you all day long to tell you what the F-16 is like, but the only way to really understand is to go get in the cockpit.
It's one of the sweetest looking jets, one of the most beautiful aircraft out there.
Lieutenant Colonel James Flash Frickle has flown the F-16 for 20 years, but he's had his eye on jets for about as long as he can remember.
Kindergarten, I wanted to be a farmer, and then first grade, from then on, I wanted to be a pilot.
He's the commander of the 466th Fighter Squadron and the pilot taking me up.
It's like putting on snow pants.
There's a pre-flight briefing.
These are some puke bags, but I'll get you a Ziploc. It's a little better.
Then climb into the jet. Pilots say their first flight in the Viper leaves a pretty strong impression.
It handles like a dream. It's a sports car. It's a fighter pilot's dream.
For an aviation enthusiast with the childhood dream of flying in a jet like this, it should leave a pretty big impression on me, too. It's hard to describe that feeling. The Viper can take up to 9 Gs, but Flash didn't push it that high. Even so, that initial pull-up really sets the tone. On our way to the operations area, we flew in formation with Danger, another F-16 pilot. Then a couple of new F-35s formed up on our wing. These are the fighter jets taking the place of all the F-16s at Hill Air Force Base. After a couple of minutes of formation flying, those 35s are gone and the maneuvers begin. Flash begins with a hard turn to the left, then a harder one to the right. We were pulling G's our camera couldn't quite handle. Then we drop to a few hundred feet off the ground, hundreds of miles per hour, and pull straight up. G-suits prevent too much blood from leaving our brains, so we won't pass out during high G maneuvers. After about an hour of demonstrating what the F-16 can do in flight, we head back to Hill Air Force Base. It's hard to process everything happening around you during a flight like that. It's not really until after you're back on the ground that you can start to appreciate what you just experienced. One thing I do know is that bag came back empty.
Back on the ground here inside Hill Air Force Base. It was an amazing ride. No puke in the bag, thankfully. Came down with a clean cockpit. We were pretty lucky because that was one of the last 2-seat F-16 rides here at Hill Air Force Base. All the F-16s will be down at Holloman Air Force Base in New Mexico by the end of the month. At Hill Air Force Base, Sean Moody, KSL 5 News.
And he hardly looked